People in hospital are already at their most vulnerable without having to be subjected to unhealthy and unappetising food.
All people want is just good food.
I believe that good, nutritious food not only lifts the spirits of patients confined to our hospital wards, but that it can be a medicine as well. Patients in our hospitals are simply not getting the food that they deserve.
The food's awful.
We thought it was a joke to start with.
Tasteless.
Atrocious. Quite bland.
In a recent survey, a third of people asked described the food as unacceptable, and nearly a quarter of patients wouldn't eat it, instead relying on food brought in by family and friends. £50 million has been spent over the last decade trying to improve the quality of our hospital food, but so far there's been little sign of it working. I took up the challenge to bring healthy, tasty food to the wards of Scarborough General Hospital. And patients who had previously been turning away their food are now looking forward to their mealtime.
And the food's excellent.
No complaints whatsoever.
And the soups now are brilliant.
So I proved it can be done. And now the challenge is trying to bring about change across the rest of the UK.
You know, I'm not trying to create a Michelin star meal, but what I am trying to create is good, simple food.
After the success I achieved at Scarborough, I'm determined to take my message for better hospital food to more than just one place and roll out change on a wider scale across the country.
I think, you know, looking at it, we can still make a massive difference to the bigger picture.
Each hospital is very different. This is why the NHS can't be changed by sat in Westminster saying we need to do this, this and this. You've got to physically get off your backside and do something about it. It all starts now, and I've got to get started.
This time, the first hospital that's given me access to its kitchens is the Birmingham Royal Orthopaedic. But as soon as I got there, I identified some major problems, starting with waste.
But it's going to go in the bin.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how annoyed I am with this.
In the kitchen, I'm working with chefs Gaz.
That's 11 grand I've saved. Been here 2 minutes.
Tore me apart there a bit.
Vicky.
I'm not wasting AP.
And head chef Tracy.
Come to do some eggs?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
While in charge of the department is head of facilities Emma.
So there's more gone in the
There's more gone in there. This is just what I could get hold of.
There's so much to do in this one hospital alone that only now has the enormity of my ambition to improve things nationwide really hit me. Every hospital can have its own individual challenges, which all need time to address. If I'm going to take on NHS food across the board, I need help. So I'm calling in some backup. I've contacted 10 world-renowned chefs and invited them to my house. They have no idea that I'm going to ask them to give up their time for free to work with a hospital local to them. If they don't agree, my vision for better hospital food is over before it even begins. While I wait to hear if the chefs will come, I'm in Birmingham, where the stakes couldn't be higher. The catering department is currently heading towards a £27,000 overspend, and unless things improve, the management are considering bringing in prepared meals, what's usually called cooked chill. If they do, the kitchen staff face losing their jobs. So I want to see if the team has listened to what I've told them about how crucial it is to follow proper recipes for dishes they cook. Last time I was here, Gaz and I almost fell out over it.
What do you cook that for?
About 40 minutes.
About? Why is it not in here? I don't care what you say, from now on. Everything is in this book.
Okay.
Do you want my opinion then, don't you?
Yeah.
Put it in the book.
So one of the first things I'm looking out for this morning is to see if they've now started to follow the recipes in the book.
What I've got is I've done a little test. Yesterday we had a recipe book. I've taped it up. And as yet, at 8:10, it's not been opened.
It's clear the team still doesn't understand why recipes are so important, or the consequences of cooking without them. It makes it impossible to know what quantities of food they're cooking with, so they've no idea of how much a meal costs. Head chef Tracy can't tightly control her stock, which is adding to her overspend. Plus, there's no consistent standard, which must be contributing to the high volume of waste that comes back from the wards.
Can we gather everybody together around this spot?
I need to make sure that this message is really getting through to Tracy and her team.
I taped that up this morning when I arrived.
Taped it up.
Don't think it's been opened.
Oh.
You haven't opened it. You haven't opened it. So what's the point of it then? Why don't we just throw it in the bin? I'll go home. You can carry on as normal. These are the blatant facts. I'm going to make it black and white with you. I've been upstairs. If this doesn't work, you're all out of a job. I asked you for a recipe book. What you've done is create recipes. You've photocopied out of cookbooks. You don't even use it.
There's no point. Those scales haven't been used. You're making stuff that without even thinking about it. Your main concern is waste here, because we're wasting bucket loads of money. Right? That is the reason why this department is going to get shut down.
We put these recipes in here. He hasn't had to, or Vicky had to look at it because they know this recipe because it's their recipe.
Tell me the recipe for 100 portions of cottage pie. Come on. Well, you tell me, you know it. Tell me the recipe for 100 portions of cottage pie, off the top of your head. I want quantities.
I don't know. I'm not giving you quantity because I don't know the quantity. So I don't do price, and I just do.
Hey, I don't understand when you have a problem with quantities. The reason why I ask for recipes is that recipes have quantities in it.
I don't know the quantities. I'm not going to write it down because I don't know. I just use what
you make it up.
We use what we got.
I'll be honest, I don't know.
But, why is this such a problem? Is this like going back to basics?
I will do it now. It's just we're just used to the way we do it.
I know you're used to the way you're doing it. I'm not.
To make it to prove the point.
I'm not criticising anybody here. If the head office have a go at me about wastage, at the moment you are 100% to blame. The buck stops with you guys. From now on, this is the Bible. Use it.
Yes, sir.
I hate having to get tough, but if I don't, nothing will change, and all the chefs could potentially lose their jobs. Don't worry, it'll be fine. All right?
I know, it's just a bit of a shock when you...
It is a bit of a shock, but we haven't got time. You know what I mean? I've been told by upstairs we haven't got time. So we're going to start from a clean slate now. This is what we do.
Yeah.
All right?
Be all right now.
Is this good?
I hope so. After all that.
Go on.
I'll get a glass of water.
Go get a glass of water. I don't like seeing anyone upset, but I'm massively concerned that if no recipe exists, how can anyone be 100% confident that meals are suitable for patients with special requirements? So I'm meeting the hospital dietitian Susan and senior lead nurse for nutrition Jodie to see how they deal with it. One thing that I'm interested in is these recipes. Now, please don't tell me you've got recipes, because I haven't got any in the kitchen.
No, I was going to say we...
So how can you do your job?
Yeah, we end up estimating. If I'm
you
honest.
guess, basically?
Yeah, we end up having to guess. Different chefs will cook things in very different ways. They'll add different ingredients. So what we're doing is we're sort of averaging out what we think is in a portion. Unlike some other hospitals where I've worked, where you've had exact calorie and protein breakdown per portion.
So I take it because you don't exactly know what's in the food,
yeah.
You're using supplements?
Yes,
a lot of the time.
we do use, I would say, probably more nutritional supplements than we need to use.
Right.
I would say that, again, it's probably a common problem across the NHS.
Yeah.
But what we're very keen to do is try and get it so it's food first.
I've got my work cut out then, haven't I, really?
You do, yes.
This situation is worse than I was expecting. I can't believe that dietitians have to guess the nutritional content of the meals, and because of that, have to rely on food supplements to balance out the patient's diet. I'm shocked, but hopefully this will change when I bring in a new menu with fresh soups. But before I can do that, there's another basic issue I need to tackle. I know from talking to the patients that their main complaint is they don't get to choose the dish they want, as there's no ordering system. I'm convinced this is why at least 40 to 50% of everything the kitchen cooks comes back down from the wards untouched and goes straight into the bin. I need to try and put an end to this right now, and the key person who can help is Head of Facilities, Emma. I need somebody like yourself to go speak to the management above and say, right, from now on, if we haven't got the order from the ward at 8 o'clock, nobody gets nothing. They get nothing.
Okay. Yes, quite happy to go out there and say, right, we need to know X, Y, and Z. But it's also, everything is a pure balancing act.
It's quite simple. You're not an A&E ward, which you've got people coming in all over the place. I would hazard a guess here that you will know exactly how many patients, bar 10, what you've got next Wednesday in here, because it'll all have been pre-booked beforehand. We want to know the numbers. At 8 o'clock when the kitchen staff come in, we want to know how many people are cooking for. It's a basic ask. It's not complicated. It's crucial that Emma gets the wards to understand the importance of getting the patient numbers to the kitchen by 8 AM. It won't be an easy task, but the same is true with a lot of the issues at this hospital, and that's the problem. It's become clear I need to dedicate so much of my time working with the team at Birmingham that if I really want to change the food served in hospitals elsewhere, I'm going to have to call in some help. So I've come up with a plan. I've invited a group of successful, well-known chefs to come to my home.
What do you cook a load of chefs? Nothing. You don't. You let them do the cooking.
All they know is I have a project I want to discuss with them, but I'm hoping to persuade them to come on board to help me work with other hospitals so we can implement real change across the UK. I need to convince them that what I achieved at Scarborough last year was just the start. And what gave me a massive motivation after the show went out was Clarence House. They called me up. I thought I was actually going to the gallows, to be honest, but they sent me an invite to meet His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales. We discussed everything from how we could change the food in the NHS. And what motivated me more than anything was the passion that the Prince had and the enthusiasm that he had for the project. So that gave me the idea to then organise tonight, really. I have to make tonight a success. If I can't persuade a room full of top-class chefs to get involved and help me transform hospital catering, I'm worried I'll fail.
Nervous. They don't know what they're here for.
As they don't exactly know why they've been invited here, I'm going to start by showing them a short video of everything we've managed to do at Scarborough.
Go on in, guys. Go on in, go on in. Right, first of all, thank you for coming. However, I've tricked you. None of you actually know the real reason why you're here. As you're probably aware, I had a bit of a mission to try and help a place, and that place was Scarborough Hospital. And in the 3 months that we were there, we transformed the food offer. They've got fresh fruit, fresh veg, local ingredients, just transformed the whole thing. And just to show you, I just want to play you just this, and then I'll chat to you afterwards, all right? So if you can just have a quick look.
I spent last summer working alongside catering manager Pat Bell and her team. My aim was to improve the quality of the food while sticking to a meagre NHS budget.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Running a restaurant is a walk in the park compared with this. Surely to change just a small thing benefits so many people.
Pat and her team should be immensely proud of the progress they've made so far.
You might not be applauding me in a minute. Now, here's the bomb that I'm about to drop on you. I need you guys. Because I suddenly realised, having been to Birmingham, I can't do it on my own. I'll be honest with you, it's not easy. But all I'm asking you for is an hour at least a month of your time. If you can do more, great. I just want you on board first. Yeah. So I'm going to leave you to it, and I'm going to warm up the pizza room and get you another beer.
That went better than I expected. None of them have walked out yet. And lots of them have their own personal reasons and motivation for wanting to get involved. So fingers crossed.
My most recent hospital experience was a friend who was in hospital. Food was the big moment of the day, and it was always a disappointment. And I ended up cooking stuff in a restaurant, putting it in back bags, and then taking it down and warming it up. Ridiculously.
For somebody, a patient in hospital, the highlight of their day is when the food. Yeah, it's going to be huge work. It'll be massive. You know, it's like you said, you're not just going to be able to go in. You'll look at it. Each of us will go in and look at it and think, you know, that, and there'll be so many hurdles and hoops.
I mean, James has said an hour a month. It's not going to be an hour a month.
Everyone seems really fired up and enthusiastic by what I've told them so far. But now it's time to find out how many will agree to work with me.
See, it is English weather. See, at least it's not dampened the spirits in there. I think, fingers crossed, they're all up for it. So we've got soggy pizzas. So if you want to know what to cook chefs, soggy pizzas and wet salad leaves, and plenty of beer. A big piece of news I also want to share with everyone is that I'll be working with the Health Minister for Wales in rolling out a standardised menu. She wants my help in coming up with some dishes, and I'm hoping Stephen Terry, who's based there, will be up for working alongside me. Wales, now they want me to be involved in changing every hospital in Wales.
Whoa. Wow.
So that's how big a clout we could have if we work together as a group. Now already I'm going to do it anyway, so no disrespect, with or without you, it'll just take me 10 times as long, and it'll probably put me in one of these hospitals. But by one person in the trust, and certainly one person in the government, saying that this is a good thing, let's roll it out, is massive. You'll notice the biggest things.
I'm in, James, I'm in, definitely. Yeah.
Good, that's one side done, right?
While other chefs decide if they're on board or not, Paul Merritt puts his finger on an issue that's at the heart of many problems in the hospitals, a fear of change.
When we go, we're not going to be met with sort of, you know, a resilience to change.
Yes.
We are, aren't we? Yeah.
I can't say. Yeah, I'll put the difficult one on you, Paul. But I can't say it's going to be easy, because it isn't. So treat it with the utmost of silk gloves.
So who else will agree? The Tanner brothers are hugely successful chefs running 2 restaurants in Plymouth, and I'm hoping that both will want to work with me.
What do you reckon?
It's a no-brainer.
Have you? Yeah, but have you the time? I know you're busy. You're running the restaurants as well.
I think for something as good as that can fundamentally spark change, and like we said earlier with the guy, you know, collectively as a group, the communication's important as well.
Yeah.
It can only be positive.
Let's do. What's your initial thoughts first?
I really get how important, both nutritionally but also morally and motivationally, good food is.
Well, getting better is part in the mind, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
That's the thing.
To me, it's what you've been talking about. It all stems to me down to people skills. How you get your catering manager on your side, how you get your head chef saying you may be lacking in knowledge of how to do something differently and skillfully, how you get them involved and excited by it. That's what it seems to me to be.
Well, all's going well so far, and I'm hoping that Lawrence Keogh will also be keen. He's had first-hand experience of being in hospital.
What do you reckon?
You've hit a nerve, haven't you, with me?
Well, I have with you. That's why I invited you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an outpatient.
Yeah.
I'm still an outpatient.
Yeah.
I've had a renal transplant, a kidney transplant, so I've been in and out of hospitals half my career. So it's quality of life in the hospital, and it's patient care, it's basic patient care, and it's quality of life, and it starts with food and a good meal that you're looking forward to enjoying.
I mean, it may be as simple as soup, and
it
that's
is.
what we did. And that was the biggest
major.
thing. Although I know it's a small thing for you guys, but if you could think that 6 hospitals from 3 months' time are not going to buy frozen veg or packet soup, and they're going to purely cook fresh produce. Look at the massive difference that's going to make.
But with your help and having the experience that you've had at Scarborough, for me, this green light, it was fantastic. I mean, that we've got that for that support. That makes all the difference, James. Absolutely.
Everybody in there?
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. Can you promise me you'll still be speaking in three months' time?
The nice thing about this is the fact that James already has the recipes
Yeah.
in place. The ideas that he wants to implement, he just needs our help.
Yeah, and it's just had to get in there and implement it, isn't it? You know, and chef, how do I do the carrot soup again?
With James's inspiration on looking at things and trying to do fresh produce, buying better quality ingredients, it can happen. I hope so.
I get the feeling tonight there's been a bit of success. The weather didn't help, but it didn't dampen the spirits, and I think everybody's on board. But I don't know whether they realise what they've let themselves in for.
I just don't want to fall at any hurdles here. I want to see it through. You know, it's going to be a
Smash
long.
those hurdles down.
It's going to be a national, isn't it? It's going to be. Some of us are going to fall at the first hurdle. Hopefully, it's not me.
If I can go in and say something, just 1 or 2 clever things, or see 1 or 2 things that could be changed and make a big difference to someone receiving their meal, then it's all been worth it.
I will do whatever I can, and it'll be more than an hour a month, that's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. God, we're all going to end up in hospital sometime, and loved ones, kids. Yeah, absolutely, defo.
It's fantastic that these guys are on board. But one thing is for sure now, this is just the beginning, and it's the beginning of a long journey, not just for me, but for my kitchen brigade.
For the first time since I walked into the Birmingham Royal Orthopaedic Hospital, I'm beginning to believe by all working together, we can achieve my goals. It feels good to make a difference, whatever you do, really. Constantly in the back of my mind is my grandmother. She was a huge inspiration in my life. She passed away in a hospital 15 years ago, but I get the feeling that she's behind me all the way. This is a good thing that we're doing. It's positive. While I wait to hear back from the hospital trust we've contacted to see how many of them will agree to let my band of chefs into their catering departments, I head back to Birmingham. When I was last there, I asked Head of Facilities Emma to talk to the wards to make sure they called the kitchen by 8 AM with the exact number of patients we need to cater for. That one simple change will cut down the huge amount of food that's left uneaten and thrown into the bin.
What I've tried to do is implement quite a big drastic change immediately, and that's get the wards to call down between the hours of 7:30 and 8, which is now 7:45, and give us the numbers. There's about five wards here in a high dependency unit, so in theory 6 wards, and as yet only one of them has phoned down.
I'm infuriated that the wards don't seem to understand how vital it is for the kitchen to know how many people they're cooking for.
They'll be really stubborn. They will. That's why they don't do it, because no one wants to do it. Good luck.
It's now 8 o'clock and the phone still hasn't rung. I have no choice but to call the wards myself.
Hi there, it's the kitchen here. Can you tell me how many you've got? So 13 in total, yeah? Okay, thanks. See, they know this straight away, you know, straight off, bang. Hi, did you get the message to phone down with the food list for today? No? Okay. Can you tell me how many you've got in your ward then today for lunch? 22.
Any special diets, halal vegetarians? 1 diabetic. 3 diabetic. 2 diabetic. Right, okay. Gotta help you if you're diabetic. Did you tell me, did you get a message yesterday? Right. Alright. Is it better if we move the time? 8:30 would be the good time. Alright. Thank you very much. Cheers. It's quite interesting. They've got a handover issue at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I've just spoken to the ward sister and she said it'd be better to do it at 8:30 rather than 8 o'clock. What's the point of it then? Another issue that's frustrated me on previous visits is that none of the team were following written recipes or weighing out ingredients. But from the look of things, the team has finally taken on board what I said. What a difference.
We know what we've got to do, we will do it. And like, I mean, Gareth's writing things down, he's on prep today and he's writing everything he's doing down. It has sunk in.
Finally the penny's dropped really that, you know, we know what we've got to do and we're going to get on with it, and the team, they're okay and they're getting on with it, to be fair.
Before James turned up, I wouldn't say we were laid back or slacking, but it was very chilled. And so it is hard work, it is hard, but you know, we've got to put up with it, we've got to work hard at it, and if we want our job at the end of the day, then we've got to put up with it, you know.
It feels like I'm starting to win the team around. So the next stage is improving the food that they're serving, and I'm going to show them how quick and easy it is to cook soup using fresh produce. I know this works from when we started serving fresh soup to the staff and patients at Scarborough General Hospital. It was the key to our success. So this is the first thing I've cooked in your kitchen, and I want to show you one of the fundamental things that I want to put on the menu. That's soup. You can make this one with me. 1 litre. It's all to do with the cooking time. This is why, as well as having scales, we have a timer. So when this comes to the boil, 4 minutes, it's off. You've got yourself the soup. Now I know that that's quicker to make than it is for you to open all those packets. If we start to make this and then sell it in the restaurant and we keep the menus the same, saves you having to make 2 separate menus, I think that the staff will like this. I'm hoping that the team is beginning to see what a difference fresh soup will make not just to the patients, but also how it can help them generate income by selling it to staff in the hospital restaurant.
Just as good as mine.
But the real test is what the patients think. I'm sending head chef Tracy up to the wards to get some feedback. When you go up there and give it to the patients, I want them to be honest, see what they think. But also I want you to give it to the nurses and ask the nurses and the staff nurse and everybody in the wards, the staff, if we were to put this on the menu downstairs with a baguette in a bag, would you be interested? If so, what would you prepare?
Well, I've got celiac and apple, and I've got butternut squash and lime. Which one would you like to try? You can try that. Okay. We went to Ward 2 and we got some really good feedback from patients and from the staff. All fresh. Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, that's very nice.
Very nice?
Yeah.
Would you buy it in the restaurant with a baguette?
I would, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, beautiful.
Would you like it on the menu?
Oh, it would. I think it would go very well.
Yeah? Do you think the patients would enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah? And
If I'm enjoying, the patient will enjoy as well.
Would you like to see it on the menu? Yeah? Yeah? Some details? That's good. Thank you. I feel a lot better today. I feel really good, and I'm looking forward to working with him, and I think it's going to be all good from now on.
I don't feel nervous anymore. I feel like I've got to get up and go now. I've got to do it, definitely.
I'd like to say he taught me something new about how to make soups. I know how to make a soup, but how he did it in 4 minutes and he got 2-3 soups on the go and it was bang, done. Nice, fresh.
They've understood where I'm coming from, and you know, I'm not trying to create a Michelin star meal, but what I am trying to create is good, simple food at a good price.
It's like something's clicked. Can't let him down now. Got to do it.
We've got James here. I mean, if he can't do it, then who can?
There's been a real shift in the team's attitude, and I think I've finally got them on my side. But I still need to tackle the issue of waste, as I believe nearly half of the food that's cooked here comes back down from the wards uneaten. Again, I need the head of facilities, Emma, to help me out. This is down to the communication. This is why I wanted you here for this one. You know, I said to you about the wards and everything else. What's the most expensive thing on this table? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bits of chicken that have not been eaten. It's 15 quid, twice a day. How much do you want to save? 210 quid a week, 840 quid a month. Just save you £11,000.
You've just cut our own.
No communication.
just shows it, doesn't it? That's it.
So this has surely got to be, phase one's got to be getting the numbers, and then is phase two then actually getting them to actually order exactly what meal they want?
I'd like that, yes. I can't see why patients aren't given a menu. Phase 3, I really do believe to go forward we need just one menu. So the first steps are to implement an ordering system and get the patients to be able to choose which dish they want. I'm convinced this will solve the waste issue and save this hospital thousands of pounds a year. Then the next stage is to just have one menu, so both patients and staff are eating the same meals. That will help the team better utilise their spending power and cut down on the current overspend. But of course, my ambition is not just to implement changes in the Birmingham hospital. I've had to face facts and accept that every hospital throws up different problems, all of which require time to resolve. And time is one thing I don't have, because I've got my work cut out here. So I've invited a group of top-notch chefs to come to my home in the hope they'd all agree to work under my guidance with a hospital in their area. All said they'd be happy to get involved, but that doesn't mean they'll all be able to. This project's been sort of frustrating and positive in equal measure. On the one hand, you've got, I think, one of the world's greatest kitchen teams assembled, willing to give up their free time for nothing. The frustrating thing is, I've just got 4 hospitals that I can put them in. Despite my fellow chefs' enthusiasm, out of all the hundreds of hospitals we contacted, I'm dismayed only a small number have shown any interest in letting me help. Most catering teams either weren't bothered or reckoned their food was good enough already. And of course, plenty have stopped cooking fresh food on site and implemented the cook-chill method. But I'm not going to let any of that put me off. I'm going to concentrate on the hospitals that would let us in, and they'll have the attention of at least one chef local to them. So working with me, in London, at the Royal Free Hospital, is Lawrence Keogh, head chef of a renowned restaurant. He's been in the trade for more than 20 years.
I'm fully aware of what can be done with food. It's not going to be easy. I understand there's going to be a lot of red tape, but it needs sorting out. This is the NHS's chance.
Joining Lawrence is award-winning star chef Paul Merritt.
I do consider myself a very small shareholder in the NHS. I'm rubbish at heart surgery. You got a knife there, Luke? But I'm all right at cooking. So, you know, to go in and help turn around and change and reform the food is the biggest thing I could offer the NHS, and I offer it willingly.
Another hospital that's asked for our help is in Truro, so I'm sending the Tanner brothers to work in the Royal Cornwall.
I don't think the next few months are going to be easy, you know, because if it was, it would have been done. We need to take what we've done with our business into this environment, which is completely unknown to us, and instill some of that into those people. I think the biggest fear for me is it's not just with this project, is anything, it's failure. I don't want to fail, never want to fail at anything.
On the other side of the UK, in Kings Lynn, Michelin star and triple AA rosette chef Galton Blackiston will be working at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital.
The NHS do a fantastic job, and I'm there to sort of bring a real sense of enthusiasm to the kitchen. The idea of not being able to do it would be horrific.
Finally, in Abergavenny in Wales is Neville Hall Hospital, where 2-time Michelin star winner Stephen Terry is heading.
The possibility of what will be developed initially going across the whole of Wales is very exciting. You know, there is a weight of pressure that comes with that, because it's a very responsible position to be in.
He's got a taste of it now, hasn't he?
To be part of something that will change things for the better for so many people, even just in a small way, in my involvement. I mean, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm going with Stephen to meet the Health Minister for Wales, Leslie Griffiths. She's asked us to come up with recipes to go on a menu that, if successful, will be rolled out to all hospitals across Wales. It's a huge honour to have been asked, and I'm chuffed she believes in what I'm trying to achieve. But it's also a massive responsibility too, so we've got to get this one right. So Leslie, thanks for meeting us. Tell us about what you have in mind. What's the big plan?
Well, I think nutrition for patients is, really important, and what we've done as a government, even my predecessor started this, was that we want to make sure that patients, the nutrition, hydration is just as important as the medicines they have. If you're going to get well, you need good food, so it's really important that we have that available in our hospitals.
So the picture is what? So paint us the basic sketch of what you're trying to achieve.
Well, I would like to see right across Wales in every hospital. We have 115 hospitals in Wales. We have a lot of hospitals.
115?
Yeah, we have.
So you're going to be busy.
And from the end of this year, I'm bringing in the All Wales menu, which again I think is really important.
So the idea is to almost have like a recipe bank of recipes that people can dive into and come out of.
Absolutely.
Good. It's really encouraging to hear that Wales is so committed to improving its hospital food. And that's the case in Scotland too. In 2008, the Scottish Government set out nutritional standards that all hospitals have to follow. But Wales is taking things further by introducing compulsory recipes. A great idea. And to be honest, I find it shocking it hasn't been introduced right across the UK. Stephen and I have come to Neville Hall Hospital in Abergavenny, where we'll be testing out the recipes we plan to put on that menu. If we can achieve our goals here, it will mean we're one step closer to every patient being served freshly made soup and dishes using produce from local suppliers. Nice to meet you. So, how many wards have you got here then?
12 wards.
12 wards, right. And what's your cost, the fundamentals of this?
Yeah, we've got £3.85 to spend per patient per day, and that includes the 7 beverages that we have, and the milky drink in the evening. £3.85.
And does that include a fruit as part of their diet as well?
Fruit is included on the menu.
One thing this hospital has that's missing in Birmingham is an ordering system where patients get to choose which meal they want. Now this is interesting to see. So you wouldn't have seen this before, will you? No. So explain to Stephen how this works.
These are the numbers that they collated in the morning. Yeah. All right, all the different wards. Right.
It's a lot of information, isn't it?
You happy with that?
Yeah, I've never seen a menu like this.
But you're going to see a lot of them, I tell you. And that ordering system has a very obvious benefit. Because they know how much food to prepare, the kitchen here has only 9% waste, compared with 40% at Birmingham. So that's it, your first impressions?
Good. I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, I've never been anywhere like that before. You've seen a lot more.
Lucky thing. I'm especially keen for Stephen to examine the hospital's procurement, how and where food is bought. I've got a feeling they haven't changed their suppliers for quite a number of years.
Yeah.
We really need to look at Welsh suppliers supplying that amount of food right across the board. There's 115 hospitals.
That's huge.
It's a tremendous amount of food, so good luck. You don't know what you let yourself in for, trust me. I've got my suspicions that once Stephen starts exploring where the food for his new Welsh menu is going to come from and which suppliers will be used, he might come across things that could be improved. And I'm right. As he finds out a bit more, he discovers something quite extraordinary is missing from the menu.
Lynn, this is Stephen, Terry.
Hello, Stephen, pleased to meet you.
Lynn's one of our dietitians.
You've obviously both worked closely together and on the menu that's existing at the moment. So what's popular at the moment? What's your main sellers?
Most popular dishes always is roast dinners, steak pies, cottage pies.
Nice, warm, hearty food. And that can be any day of the week?
Any day of the week, that can be, yeah.
Do you roast chicken dinner? Do you do lamb, beef, pork?
No, we don't do lamb, we don't do beef.
Lamb?
We do pork, chicken and turkey.
I can't see why that's not achievable, to do lamb, and you can do pork, turkey.
There's a challenge for you. Can you actually find a dish that will actually meet their budget?
I'd love to put lamb on the
menu.
menu.
You ask 100 people, what's your favourite roast dinner?
Lamb, I'd say.
Yeah.
Welsh lamb.
Of course, of course.
But Welsh lamb isn't on the menu, and the reason why is a classic example of the red tape that can surround NHS procurement. The health service is under huge pressure to save money, and yet hospitals like this aren't always able to cut costs by using cheaper suppliers from nearby, which would also give their local economy a boost. If all of the 115 hospitals in Wales used Welsh lamb, it could potentially mean thousands of pounds for local farmers. And as many farms battle to avoid closure, that business could be the contract that keeps them afloat.
What shocked me really is the fact that, because it comes down to budget and cost, here in Wales, in a Welsh hospital, we can't serve Welsh lamb, or any lamb for that matter. I don't understand why that isn't possible. So I think, we've got to get on the phone, look at the suppliers, and go from there.
It does seem bizarre that there are no Welsh lamb dishes here, but in fact it's not unusual, and it's because in too many hospitals across Wales, the cost is out of their range.
Going back to that lamb then, currently what's they charging? Is it per kilo?
£8.10 a kilo.
£8.10 a kilo?
Leg of lamb.
Leg of lamb.
That's
fresh or frozen?
Fresh.
And does it say where the lamb's from? Is it?
New Zealand.
Stephen's convinced there must be a local supplier who can provide hospitals with lamb from much closer to home and within their budget.
I'm just going to call a couple of my meat suppliers just to see what their best price is for Welsh lamb. Oh yeah, Stephen, how you doing? Yeah, not bad. Can you do me a favour? What's the price? I'm just doing a cost analysis, but what on Welsh lamb legs? What's the price per kilo, please? Best price per kilo. £7.99 on the bone. So you want about 45 kilos once a week. Sort of thing. 650, 699. 650 sounds the better of the two. I'll leave it there and I'll get back to you. Nice one. Cheers. Bye. Well, that's straight off. That's fresh Welsh lamb, and already it's down to 650.
That's £1.60 cheaper per kilo than lamb from New Zealand. And once the two of us have called a few more suppliers, the situation seems even more ridiculous to both of us.
Hello.
Hello, mate.
Hiya, you alright?
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. You okay?
Yeah, I've had a full day in Birmingham. I've got together a list of about 6 suppliers that will sell and be able to service the entire country of Wales in lamb, Welsh lamb. So I met with a group of farmers about a couple of weeks ago, and some of them do about 20,000 lambs a month. So there's plenty of meat there, and they'll do it at the price that we want. I think probably the shoulder would be the most cost-effective part of it. And
Okay, you know, at the moment the situation that we're in is that, you know, there is no Welsh lamb on the hospital's menus in Wales, which is a shocker, really, isn't it?
yeah, but that's going to change. But we've just got to make sure that when we do the recipe, that it's accessible for everybody, and it can be done in the cost.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
All right, fantastic.
Take care. All right.
Nice, all right, thanks.
See you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Well, it's bonkers. The only lamb that is available is Australian or New Zealand lamb. If you step outside, you'll see them around you. There's Welsh lambs all around us, so there are millions of sheep in Wales.
When it comes to food and food ordering, they've got the opportunity to buy local. It seems to me that you might as well go down to the local supermarket because it's probably cheaper than what they're doing. And it should appall people watching this, because this is your money. This is taxpayers' money, and we pay for this. And nobody seems to care. And this is why everything's going to go cook chill, unfortunately. But the downside of going cook chill is what people don't realise, and the guys in Birmingham, they'll all be out of a job. It's crazy. Next time, I start to take control of the kitchen in Birmingham as I become head chef.
When was this taken out of the freezer?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
I'm going to be busy now.
You are now. 1 minute.
It's all happening now.
30 seconds, please. Come on, come on, come on. And my kitchen brigade gets down to work with their local hospitals across the country.
Reality is massively sinking in. This is really taking me out of my comfort zone.
I think when we were all stood in James's kitchen, there was a little bit of bravado. So yeah, I think there's a real challenge ahead.
Lots going on, very, very busy.
What are we going into?